Y'all, I'm just saying, if I live in a big city apartment like that, I'm buying some curtains and some blinds because people can see everything you do, and I don't like that. What is up, Netflix fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am talking about the brand new series called You. This series premiered on Lifetime, did not get a lot of exposure until it dropped on Netflix. Now, more and more people are talking about this. This is going to be a review of the series 1, not going to dive into spoilers, but this video is also kind of my way to reach out to people who have not discovered and watched this series, because while there are fans of it right now commenting, asking me to review this, there are also people who have not heard of it. It's not been exposed to the masses, and I'm here to tell you guys that this is a show worth watching. I really enjoyed my time with You. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score, announcements at the end of this video as always, and leave your comments down below. Tell me what you thought, if you're looking forward to it, and if this series even interests you at all. Let's get right into the review. So a clever bookstore manager relies on his savvy internet know-how to make a woman of his dreams fall in love with him. The beautiful thing about this series is that it's a play on social media, it's a play on the psyche of people, it's that stalker mentality. So many of those things contribute to a series that takes many different directions, the twists and turns along the way, especially when you get into the last few episodes. They are just crazy, and they continue to surprise you and shock you guys. This series, with a premise so simple, you wouldn't think to yourself, well, You is not really something I'm interested in, but once you get into this character, played by Penn Badgley, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Look, I don't really know the guy because I haven't watched a lot that he's been in, but he is very famous and people love him, and I understand why people love him, because you really get to dive deep into him as a character, and that's because the performance is so good. Sure, the writing is really well done. I like the dialogue. I like the way that they go about using what he's saying in his head to kind of maneuver around story points and tell the story as you go. You get to hear his thoughts, every single thought that comes into his head that is important to the story. It utilizes that in a way that some films and other TV shows aren't able to. Sometimes it comes off as too much, sometimes it comes off as annoying. In this show, it works, and without the dialogue, without everything going on in his head, and that being explained to the audience, and not explained in a, oh, this is a lot of exposition kind of way, explained in a way that kind of tells us what's going through their minds and the thought process. I love that. I love the decision there. I also read that this is based on a book. You can tell from the storytelling style. I like how they brought that to life, and I like how they give you a story that starts out, like I said before, so simple. This is not a premise that goes in the directions that you would expect it to go in, yet the story continues to surprise you. You start out with characters that you don't think are going to be fleshed out as much as they are, and then episode after episode, especially when you get into like episode 4 and 5, it starts going in different directions and telling the story from other people's point of views. There's a certain episode, I believe it's episode 4, where they pivot from him being the main character to her being the main character, as long as they need it to be like that, and it really works. That storytelling structure, you would think it would fail, but it turns out to do nothing but help the viewer and dive more into her backstory, his backstory. All of the side players start coming in and playing integral roles. There is one character in particular who is the star of The Possession of Hannah Grace. Did not make that connection until I IMDb'd it, because I'm like, man, she looks familiar. And I'm like, oh, you were in that movie? That was a bad movie. Yeah, I like Elizabeth Lail as Beck. I like Shay Mitchell as Peach. All of those characters really play a part and play more of a role than you expect when you first start watching this show. Another thing that I love about this show is that when you first start watching, you're like, is this gonna be another cliched romantic drama, and it's gonna take you down a path that I don't necessarily, for me, want to go down, because I'm kind of bored with movies and shows like this. And you start to figure some things out about this guy, and you're like, okay, maybe he's a bit too curious, maybe he knows a bit too much, and then it starts taking those dark turns, and you know what I'm talking about if you have watched the show. You really goes in directions that you do not expect. At times, it is a bit predictable, but then they'll just throw something at you, a storytelling aspect or a character decision. You're like, well, okay. And at the end of the day, you do learn lessons. You learn lessons about social media, the repercussions of what you put online. I like how our main character, he's kind of distant from the world. He's cold to even his closest friends. His coworker at the library, he doesn't treat him very well. And you can tell he's that way with people that try to be close to him, except for Beck. Beck is the only girl that he's going to treat the way that he truly, deep down in his heart, believes that she deserves to be treated. And he continues to do that and continues to show you what he will do for love. That is the theme of the show. What would you do for love? As well as showing us a story of someone who constantly thinks he is right. Everything he does, he has precision or purpose to it. All of the decisions are calculated. Now, sometimes he'll make a decision and he'll start running because he realized he did the wrong thing. But in his mind, everything he's doing, right or wrong, he truly believes it is right. He truly believes he is treating these people in the correct way and that he is doing the right thing for himself. And that's what I think makes him a really good lead character. And he really kind of carries this story on his shoulders because as good as everyone else is, I truly believe he is the best part about it. He's the main character, but he is the best part about it. In the end, we get to the ending, not spoiling what it is. Some people are not going to like it. Some people are going to be upset that there is a mild cliffhanger there. I, for one, am looking forward to season 2. Netflix has already announced that we are getting another season. I don't know how that works because it was a Lifetime show and now Netflix is announcing stuff, so I guess it's a Netflix show now? I'm confused. I could probably Google it, but I don't want to. If we're talking bad, the intro that I had talking about the windows, it was a joke, yes, but it was also something that I'm truly serious about. How does she get away with not having any curtains or blinds, and she's always doing something in front of the window or getting naked? Would she not realize what she's doing? Maybe people do that in these big cities. I don't know. I'm a country boy. But just go Lowe's and get some blinds or something. And while I said I like the side characters, and I truly do, there are some side characters in here that are very intriguing. They have mysteries of their own. They have their own bad backstories, and some of them turn out to not be the best people, and you find that out. There are other side characters that really just kind of got annoying. They came off as a bit too much. The fact that most of them had these celebrity relationships, or they had a popular Instagram page. I see what they were going for. I understand what the filmmakers or the people that wrote the book, I guess, were trying to do. They were trying to shine a new light on social media, and I get that. At times, it just felt like a bit too much, and it felt really on the nose when they were trying to deliver these messages. And I think my biggest critique is the fact that there are just so many plot lines, so many stories, and so many twists and turns that at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to tie everything up in a nice little bow. Not that it had to, because I don't think a story like this should tie everything up in a nice little bow, but there were some things, some questions that were left unanswered, some things I wanted at the end that I didn't get, and that's a bit selfish of me, but I have to count it as a negative because I think it could have just been handled a bit better. Regardless, guys, I want to thank you all so much. Whoever recommended this to me, it was multiple people in my comment section. I truly appreciate that. Because of you all, I was able to watch a really surprising and good show on Netflix. I enjoyed it. A story about a guy who dreams of falling in love with the girl, and he'll do what it takes to do that. I did not think that I would like this much, but I truly enjoyed you, and that is why I'm going to give you on Netflix an 82%. This is a really solid show. A lot of good things in there, and I cannot wait to revisit it, and I can't wait for season 2. Also, a big shout out to John Stamos, I love that guy, and Greg Berlanti, who is credited as a creator of this show. He did Love, Simon in 2018. The guy was 2 for 2 in 2018. I can't wait to see what he does next. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope I encouraged you to watch this show. Let me know in the comments down below if you plan on maybe taking a look at it. I think the first episode will get you hooked, and if you guys have watched the show, let me know your thoughts down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you disappointed? This is your space to talk you on Netflix, and you guys are the absolute best. Thank you for everything that you do for me. Escape Room tomorrow night. I can't wait to review that. And then Friday morning, we are talking Young Justice, the first 3 episodes, along with all of the Netflix content dropping later on that weekend. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll catch you later.